And okay, we are live, and here comes the video.
I'm not really gonna drink it though.
But I don't hear any volume. Okay, here we go.
How cool is that? Look at all that house.
I know.
We got some
Okay, we're gonna hold off. Let's see here. Where's our media guy stepped away? We need him to actually. Okay, go ahead and start that video, Omar. You need to unmute it. There we go.
It's our first show. No worries. No worries. We'll get it together. By our fourth or fifth show, we should be good.
Exactly.
it's a rough draft.
Right.
All right, I think that's it. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of that for right now. Go ahead and cut out. Let's remove that from it, Omar. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This is our first show. We are live. Here we go again. There we go. That's a great picture.
Is that a bow tie you were wearing? I like
That's
that.
a motherfucking bow tie, bro.
I like that.
Yeah. And the
All right.
necktie.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, and a
So that's
necktie.
a necktie too, yo. Got
Those
to bring
old
bling
school
to
80s
the ring.
Those old school 80s ones that are like real short, right?
Yeah. All rhinestones and shit.
All right, Omar, go ahead and shut that stream off there with that there real quick, and then that'll reset us. There we go. Okay, let's see here. All right, welcome to the show, All Angles, Boxing and Combat Sports. We're coming to you live. We're doing this at a new All Angles deal. We are not just the average common fight fan or the casual fan talking just about boxing. We're actually coming to all you people from different parts of the fight game, whether it's in the squared circle, in the octagon, whether it's with gloves, bare knuckles, what have you. We're bringing it all. My name is Dave Trujillo, formerly with Rolling with the Punches TV. I am the owner and the head coach at House of Pain SoCal Boxing in Temecula, California. And we are bringing on today our co-hosts, and we also have a special guest that we're going to introduce you at the end. But first, let me introduce you to Cesar Garcia. Cesar, tell us a little bit about yourself, brother.
What's up, everybody? Well, a lot of people, hopefully a lot of people that are watching kind of already know who I am. You'll see me in the boxing events running around. I manage fighters here in the States. I got a couple guys. I had a couple of what do you have? NABF champs, WBO champs. I've been very fortunate to manage them, and like Oscar Negrete is like my guy. But I have a few other kids right now that are pushing and trying to get there. So promote fights in Mexico. You've seen the events I do in Mexico, Dave, out there by the pool, chilling. We get to call it work. We get to call it we act like we're working out, even though we're out there having a good old time, But that's what I do. I have a background in journalism and communications. I used to write back in the days for for a few websites, mostly MMA, but I did write for a couple of boxing stuff too, and been around. So, and now here I am. Now I can add a boxing show host to my resume, right?
There you go. Co-host. We're all co-hosts here. Well, right on. Well, you know what? Grito de Guerra Promotions, man, has really brought a different type of boxing experience in the world to me because between Caesar and Big Serge Estrada, these guys are putting boxing rings above swimming pools at five-star resort hotels. I've had the pleasure of being at a couple events. We've also had the pleasure of having our fighters in one of our fighters in one of the events, and we're going to do it again. That's for sure. Yeah, there we go. There goes that internet. So,
Yeah.
Is Shelly at the airport? Is that the airport, Shelly?
are you at the airport, Shelly?
Damn.
Where are you flying to, girl?
Actually, no, I'm actually home. And I'm trying to get some lighting. But no, this is actually a window. You're not gonna see no airplanes pass by over here. I'm in Pasadena currently.
Right on. Well, we're gonna come right back to you, Chatty. So please stand by. But next, I'm gonna bring up Big Surge. Big Surge, how you doing there, brother? How's your internet?
Hey, not bad. Now it's a lot better, brother. My son had to reset his router, and I'm out here in Atlanta, Georgia. Well, Columbus, Georgia, right now visiting my son. I took advantage that I just got done working a bare knuckle boxing event last night. And instead of flying home, I detoured out here to visit my son and meet my grandson for the first time, catch up with my granddaughter, and just to spend a little family time. That you always got to make time for family at some point. It can't always be work, work, work. So yeah, I'm enjoying myself out here. Just landed a couple hours ago, so I just got here. But other than that, we're enjoying ourselves here.
Well, good for you, brother, man. I know how much work you put out there. I've had the pleasure of meeting you at a few spots and seeing what you do weekly. So that's a brutal agenda you have, man. Flying out, and you're not the only stranger to that around here. We got more people here that fly out and working the fights all over the place too. So we're all in the same world together, man. That's the beauty about all angles. Yeah. So next, I want to introduce Chelly Rivas. Chelly is America's favorite ring card girl. Chelly, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi guys, I am Shelly Rivas, and as a ring girl, I can't say I have favorite ring girls, right? So this is big news to you guys. I have not told any of you, and you guys are my close boxing family. So here is the big news. I have something to announce, and it's going to be on this show.
All right.
Okay. El Gordo y la Flaca contacted me a week ago, and we did filming, and they announced, and it's going to come out on Thursday, 4 p.m. I am the ring girl of the year. So I was just so crazy. I could not believe it because I thought somebody was pranking me. I was like, wait, what? And they said, hey, you could bring any girl you want, bring whoever you want. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to try to bring my favorite ring girl into this. The person that inspired me, she was not currently available, so I brought somebody else, but you are going to see me in El Gordo y la Flaca on Thursday at 4 p.m.
Congratulations.
I'm so happy.
Good job.
I'm Shelly Rivas. I was Miss Mexico 2012. A lot of people have seen me. I actually have stuff right here. El Troquero cover, and what else do I got? Anyways, but I'm so happy to be a part of this show.
I don't know if they had their own magazines.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
right on, boy. We got a beautiful thing going on here. Well, Charlie, congratulations. We look forward to seeing you on Thursday over there, and then, of course, following you in your career and everything that you earn. And plus, you're going to see us once a week, so you can't get rid of us that easy, girl. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And then I will be flying out to Costa Rica with Marv Nation and Golden Boy, so that's going to be so fun.
We're going to be able to get some interviews out there, girl.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Right on. So now I'm going to introduce to you Mr. Omar Botts. This is the owner of Bots Media, and he's also the production manager for All Angles Boxing and Combat Sports. Omar has impressed me in so many different ways. We've been together in a lot of areas, not only on the ring side, but behind the scenes of a lot of top camps out here in Southern California. Omar, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I'm a sports photographer, family photographer, videographer as well. Self-taught. I did everything myself, and yeah, I've been working alongside with the gyms out here in Southern California, with Temecula Boxing and as well as Dave's gym. It's been great. Yeah, he's brought me a lot of places, brought me to a lot of different fights, different shows, and I've been just working with him now, doing this as well. It's boxing's been a part of my life since I was a child, so it's been a great journey to be a part of this and know all you guys as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Omar, man. We look forward to working with you, man, and going to be getting in a lot of little areas that you never thought you could get into. I think Big Surgeon and I kind of showed you a little part of that world in the last event we went to over in Ontario. So get used to that, man, because a lot more is coming.
Thank you.
All right. So now I got to introduce to you our Colorado correspondents. And this girl, man, I tell you what, she captured our hearts right away when she turned around and told me that she had a group called Battling Bitches. But she changed the name, I think. But so her name is Brittany Serrano, Colorado. She's a ring announcer. Brittany, tell us about yourself.
What's up, everybody? I'm Brittany. I am Steve Mestas' ring announcer for Airtight Boxing. I am also a podcast personality. I was thinking about calling it Brawling Babes or Brawling Bitches with Brittany, but then I thought if I do babes, I could be a little more gender inclusive. My show is female focused, but I am going to have a male guest on tomorrow night. So tune into that on Brawling Babes with Brittany. I will have a few male guests, but it is a female-focused show. So if you're a female in and around the world of combat sports, I would love to talk to you, hear your story, and learn your experience. And then you can share anything you want with the world on my page. I'm not, you can say whatever you want. You don't have to filter with me. So that's who I am. I've worked with other podcasts in the past. I've loved every bit of it. I have a little bit of journalism and media and marketing backgrounds as well. So I'm really just here to grow in my ring announcing career and to help give the females of the combat world a little bit more of a voice.
Even if they identify as females?
You know, you can identify as a fucking squirrel if you want to, but if you have a vagina, I want to talk to you, okay?
I'm just saying, if they identify, you gotta let them.
Like plain and simple.
You gotta let them.
I love this.
I told you she fit right in. So Brittany, we got a special guest.
We do,
Now,
yes, sir.
Would you please take the helm on it and introduce this amazing gentleman sitting next to you?
So this man here has made many, many dreams come true, not just in the sport, but around the sport. He is really a dream maker. This is Steve Mestas. He is the owner of Airtight Boxing, the CEO. He also owns House of Pain here in Denver, Colorado as well. So I really don't know that he needs that introduction, but I mean, he's a fantastic man. He's a matchmaker and promoter nationwide. He is very well known in the boxing community, and to be able to work with him, for him, alongside him in any way, shape, or form is an honor in and of itself. Steve?
I'm going to have to agree with you. So that being said, everything you said about Steve, I could add a lot more to that as well, because you know, when I was a couple of years ago, when I was ready to go back into the boxing world, I'd been in and out of it since the 70s. Did it with my sons. I've trained a few fighters here and there, a lot of MMA fighters. I did a lot of strength and conditioning coaching and whatnot for many years. Where's that one coming from?
I don't know.
Well, you're all right. No, so, but a couple years back, I reached out to Steve and I says, "Hey, brother, I'd really love to bring the name out here to California and continue on building that empire that he had founded." And I got to say, Steve blessed us, and ever since then, when he gave me the green light, man, I'll tell you what, when you tell him no. And that's what we did out here, Steve, and we still continue to do that. And in your honor, brother, because of what you've done in Denver and what you're now doing all around the world with everybody that you deal with, we got your back, brother.
I appreciate
So please
it, man.
tell us a little bit, brother, about yourself. Tell us what's going on, man.
My name's Steve Mestas. I've been in boxing since I was about 8 years old, but I got into promoting. Actually, I got to be a matchmaker when I was 16 years old, and
Wow.
got to learn the game. I've been around. I used to catch a bus to the gym all the time. Got to know all the fighters around there. You couldn't pull me out of the gym, so I was up there. We started the House of Pain back in the '80s. Been around with Stevie Johnston, seen all the Denver greats come up. Ron Lyle, Lightning Lonnie Smith. Got lots of stories with all those guys. Been around the Denver Rocks era and all that, and pretty much our team's basically like the Denver Rocks now. We got such a huge empire now, and I love seeing it, man. I love what you're doing out there in Southern Cal. We got one in Tijuana, Mexico, just opened one in Nebraska. There's 3 here in Denver, and it's awesome just growing out, what it stands for, what it is, starting from the kids, going all the way up to the pros, to the pro game, it's just getting bigger and stronger, for me, it helps me to have those kind of gyms, to promote. And then when I'm promoting all these fighters and getting around, we've been, Jesus Christ, man, we did about 10 shows last year, and we're killing it this year. I had to take a break.
Yeah.
We just did 3 in 3 weeks.
I saw
and
that.
we're moving. Yeah, and I'm burnt out, but still, I got people like Brittany and everybody else. I got a good crew around me, and it's a passion, it's a love of mine that I'm never going to stop doing. Just helping people get to that next level, and then having the connects that I do with Top Rank, Al Heyman, and everybody else. I'm in big with PBC and all these other guys. They call me. We're good friends and got a good working relationship with these fellas. So it's an honor and a privilege to wake up and get to do what you love to do every day. And it's not even work. I don't even count it. I'm at this 7 days a week. I wake up in the morning. Excuse my language. I eat, sleep, and shit boxing. That's it. 2 cell phones all the time. I'm on the go. I'm at the gym. If I'm not at the gym, I'm making fights. I got a gym in my basement. We're just always on the go, and look forward to a lot of good things coming up this year.
Wow, man, that's amazing. We talk about that hard work, dedication, brother.
Oh yeah,
That
appreciate
is.
it, man.
So
Yeah,
now yeah. So tell us a little bit about, you were 16 years old and you were starting to matchmake. What gym was that at that time?
it was at 20th Street. I was a matchmaker while I was at 20th Street, and I just got to know there was a local promoter here. His name is Vern Stevenson, and it's like he did a bunch of local shows, and I really didn't. I just hung out at the gyms, and I pretty much got to know all the boxers and stuff. And I was a kid who went to the fights all the time. I had a camcorder and I recorded fights, and my coach taught me how to wrap hands, so I was wrapping hands in there. I was actually training pros and making matches for this guy, and then just became his official matchmaker. Then I started making matches for a guy named Andy Lee, who raised a bunch of guys. We had guys raise guys up from fighting from local level, having guys get ready to fight guys like Mickey Ward and Arturo Gotti, that was Tito Tovar and Mark King Cobra Fernandez from Denver, helping these guys get set up. My Uncle Gilbert had a fighter named Felipe Garcia, when I was like 18 years old, I helped him get set up to fight Floyd Mayweather, so it's just making connects and just being young and being in the game, and it takes a lot. And I'll tell you right now, being a matchmaker is probably the hardest part of boxing. Promoting is easy, but making matches is just, it is a ball buster. I'm telling you, man, because, it's like every year people change, when they're just dealing with people in general, and then things fall out and you got to always be set for it. just like now I had a fight out in Wyoming, and I had 3 fights fall out at weigh-ins. You know, we had like 9 fights scheduled, and we only ended up with 5. So I was making fights all the way up to the weigh-ins, you know. So it's establishing relationships with the commission, and then still having a good relationship with all the fighters, you know. And there's people in the game that you can say aren't cool to deal with. You know, they're snakish people. You have to still deal with them. You know, there's people out there that are ruthless. You know what I mean? You know, it's like the drug dealing business. You know what I mean? You know, you got to deal with what you got to deal with. You know, and it's fucked up sometimes, but still, you know, you have to, you know, and you gotta kind of have that dark side of you too to work with these people. You know, I mean, if you're the most like happy go get and do things by the book guy, you won't get shit done, and that's where it happens. You know, and then you still got to deal with all the other stuff around you. You know, like we have a bunch of promoters in town that like when they see you doing it, you know, first these guys come over here and they're like, hey, you know, we want to help you out and everything. And you know, I tell my friends that are helping me promote, I'm like, yeah, sure, watch. These guys are going to be the ones to stick us in the back, and they do. So then you have to worry about everyone trying to do what you do, you know, and they can't do it. You know, I mean, I grew up doing this shit. I grew up doing it. You know, I mean, I basically am married to the game. You know, I mean, if you're not, you can't do this. You can't like live a normal life and do this shit. You can't, because I mean, it's like, you know, you can't be at home with your family all the time. You know, you can't. I mean, I feel sorry for my daughter because, you know, having a kid, you know, her mother was a world champion, you know, so still that's what kind of made it easier. But still for me, you know, I couldn't go to all the baseball games, softball games, all the stuff, you know. I mean, I wasn't at home a lot for dinners and stuff. I had to be at the gym, you know, doing homework, and man, years just go by like that. So you still have to watch out for all the competition, you know, and still handle your own lifestyle the way that it is, you know. So it's a game, you know.
Steve, Cesar Garcia here. I'm kind of feeling you because I do promotions, not on your level. I gotta hand it to you because I see that. I mean, I looked you up on BoxRec, and there's pages of your shows. There's pages of them, bro. So
yeah, over 100.
Yeah, I seen that. I mean, that's respect because having, like you said, you don't even know. Even after they weigh in and the day of the event, you still cross your fingers and hope that they show up to fight. I get you. I know that. But after all doing all that, and I know it could be a bitch. But what part do you find the most satisfying in promoting these events?
You know what? After it's over with, just like, you know, so to me, it's not even about making money. You know, so when you're promoting, you have to have an end game in mind. You know, everybody's like, yeah, let's make money. Let's make money. So you got 5 guys all trying to make money, you know, and then you have to split it up, you know. And I mean, you know, now, I mean, it's not, man, it's just, so to me now, the most satisfying part when it's done is the day when it's over. And I don't give a fuck if I'm broke, as long as it's over, man. Because the level, if you've done this with me before, you can empathize the level of stress that you go through. So like when the show's over and you wake up and you're like, and I'm like, oh, thank God, I don't have to worry about this. You know,
when you pay that last bill, when you pay that last bill, right? You breathe good, like bam, there you go.
Yeah,
like,
you know, I mean, you know, to me though, it's strategic planning. You know, you need to have strategy with it. You know, you need to have an end game. So when you do a show, you know, like when you're promoting, I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to go do a show either to make a whole lot of money. You know, people think that I'm in it for that. I'm not. I'm here to move fighters. The real reason why I started promoting is because I'd go to shows, you know, and well, I'll just give you guys a quick story. So there was a guy I used to promote for. His name is Andy Lee. I was a loyal matchmaker to this guy. So I did a show for him, and my guys so there was some Hell's Angels at the fight, and the Hell's Angels jumped in the ring and jumped one of my guys when it's over. So my whole team in there, you got a bunch of professional fighters. I had Pat Smith, the UFC fighter, and a bunch of MMA guys, and the whole House of Pain jumps in the ring. We're going to fuck you up. You know, so we beat all these dudes, you know, so it happens. You know, these guys are jumping me in the ring, and these guys get beat up. I get suspended. I apologized to the promoter. I was like, hey, man, I'm sorry. I did not want this to happen, whatever. This guy comes on. He goes, man, you're done. You're done. You'll never be in boxing again. And he goes, and I was the most loyal kid to this guy. I pretty much didn't even charge him to do his shows. And I made him a whole lot of money, a lot of money. So then I got my promoter's license in 1996, you know, and then I did it all under suspension. I was under suspension, but I had somebody do it. I'm smart. I had somebody get a promoter's license. I did it at a match. I make the matches. I just have people over there to do it. I still ran things from. I bought a ticket to get into my own show. First time I did it. I mean, I had all the fighters. That's the whole thing. You know, I mean, I have the relationship with that. It wasn't snakish. It was just, you know, it brings you into that, you know. So you still got to.
It's a loophole.
To me, the most satisfying part is just when the show's over. But my end game, though, like I was saying, is just moving fighters. I like to move fighters to get to the next level, you know. And now, once you get into this, you know, to me, you know, this is a quick overview. So I have a show, and now I found these little tricks, and I know everybody. And you start to get, you know, if you guys all been to college, you know the laws of supply and demand. There's such a low supply of fights and a high demand of fighters that are trying to get fights. So me as a promoter, I'm like, okay, if you guys go to Mexico, you guys know in Mexico, people have to buy fights to go out there because there's no fights here. So I want my guy who probably can't draw flies to get some wins. So I go to Mexico and I buy fights in Mexico. Okay, instead of doing that, come to my show. You could do it here. You know, and I mean, I found a good method of doing it here. I could do pro-ams here. I could have amateurs fight on the Colorado show where you don't have to be through USA Boxing or nothing, you know. So I have my own grassroots system, you know, so I raise these kids up. I have a fighter I have here by the name of Red Hot Rob Franco. Now, I brought that kid up to a world-class level. He never had an amateur fight in his life, and he beat the likes of Bobby Pacquiao. You know, I took him up. He has several bouts. You know, I took fighters from Denver. I was able to have my own shows and move these kids up to getting world title shots. You know, I had my heavyweights go up there and fight Raheem, you know, fight the biggest names in the heavyweight division, you know, because we move them here at this level. You know, so to me, that's my end game, and that's why I do. So that's a satisfying spot for me. You know, if I figure if I lose money on the show, that's fine. That's fine, because I really didn't. I may have lost a few bucks and whatever, but I still moved some fighters, just like we did the last show in Wyoming. We had 5 fights, but we had fighters that moved and we stood relevant. And that's the whole thing, you know. I'm not going to name no names, but there's one of my competitors in Denver, he put on about 6 shows last year and only one of them came through, you know. So he cancels 5 of his shows because it ain't right for him, you know, because his whole thing is I'm going to compete against Steve and make all this money. There's no money to make in boxing. If you're at it for that, though, what are you doing it for? I'm here to move fighters. I'm here to keep airtight boxing, you know, solid in the game. You know, I mean, there's ways that you got to think about what you're doing and how you're making money. You know, to me now, if you guys want to, you guys had guys just out of honor for being out of the House of Pain, I would bring it up there. I want to go to California. I want to promote a show out there to show how strong we are, man. We're brothers. We could do this. And I know if we do the right things and get the right sponsors out there, man, we could knock the roof off a motherfucker over there. You know,
we're working on that.
I'm telling you, strength comes in numbers, fellas, and we got a fucking army. You know, we just put it all together. You know, I see you got the girl that's going out there and taking a huge fight. You know, and I mean, you know, that's big. That's big, man. I mean, you guys are going to be flying colors up there. Go out there, and we don't lose. We don't lose. If you go out there and make a great account of yourself, man, they'll remember that name. They'll remember House of Pain. You know, I mean, I would even want to sponsor the girl and put airtight boxing on there. You know what I mean? I want to do whatever I can to help this movement go. You know, so I mean, I'm here, and if you guys promote out there in Mexico or whatever, connect with me, man. I got a lot of connects too. You know, I mean, there's things we could do. I'm here for advice. If you guys want to call and say, hey, you know, we could kick around some thoughts together, you know, and things might make sense. You know, I mean, I'm always open to learn and to hearing other people's ideas and stuff. You know,
I got a ring card girl I can refer you.
Yes.
Yes, please.
You know anybody?
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, real quick here, I'm gonna get to you, Chelly, real quick. Give me a second though, but I got to do my shout outs too. Okay, so here on Facebook we got Omar Pena, Steve Mestas, and Brittany. You are awesome. Josh D. Dyer turns around. He's throwing a smile and a crack up at us.
That's who I'm interviewing tomorrow.
All right. So then we got Donald Anthony, House of Pain. What's up, brother Donald? We got George Rodriguez, the matchmaker, my buddy, and the matchmaker, Eddie Rodriguez Sr., and 8 others are watching. I can't see their names right now, but shout out to you guys. And what's that, brother?
I was just saying what's up to Eddie. That's my
What's
boy.
up, fellas? And then we got Gabriel Montoya. You guys have never seen have a show coming, amateur boxing, get on me. Get me on there. Okay, Gabriel, we will keep you informed. Esteban Baca, he's watching. We got David Gonzalez Quinones. Salvador Sanchez Castellan is watching. Paul Banky, what's up, Box fam? We're going to get you on here, Paul. We're going to get you on here shortly, bro. We got Anthony Valentino, Raquel Santillan. Now, Raquel is the mother of Raul. Raul is this guy's phenomenal. He's 9-0 with 9 knockouts. And this young man has just won a championship belt, and he's going to be going for, this guy's going to be going for a world title, a true world title here within I would say, a year. So watch out for him. And then we've got Tammy Gonzalez, Airtight Boxing, Double Fist, Vicky Canfield, goes on and on. We got a lot of people coming on, so welcome everybody. Shout out to Steve and Brittany. I know they're bringing a lot of the Colorado peeps. We got our California peeps. That's what we're here for. We're here to bring the Southwest to the West Coast, and we're going to make a big bang out of this whole thing. So now, real quick, I'd like to go over to Big Serge Estrada, Cutman of the Year, 4 times in a row, Mr. Ringside inducted Hall of Fame. He's also a combat veteran. This man here is a phenomenal man that I just am very happy and blessed to be a good friend of his. And sir, I'm going to bring you on there. Serge, ask away, Mr. Mestas, anything you'd like, sir.
Thanks. It was interesting. Some of the things that you had mentioned, based off the question that Caesar popped up, the satisfaction that we get, and you said, you hit it right on the head. A lot of the times, as Caesar and I have been promoting fights down in Mexico, when you first start, obviously you're taking losses left and right, and it gets to the point where it's like, once a show's over, and like Caesar said, he's usually the one handing out the last checks and handing out the money. I'm the stress ball.
Unless we have to clean, right?
Yeah, I'm the stress ball in the group. When it comes to this promotion, I'm the one that's always like, oh my gosh, stressing over this, stressing over that, and we kind of balance each other out. Caesar has that, it is what it is. This is where we got to be, and this is what we got to do, and that's what it is. I take the opposite route in the sense where I'm trying to analyze, where do we go wrong? What do we need to do to figure this out? And I'm overthinking things. But to me, and I don't know if this has happened to you, one of the biggest satisfactions that I've had as a promoter, a young promoter at that, definitely not anywhere near your level, like Caesar said, is when a fighter comes up to you after the fact. And, again, these most of these fighters that we're bringing on the card are talent that still hasn't been showcased. Talent that hasn't had the opportunity or the blessings of knowing people to get them on that stage. But one moment in particular that just stays near and dear in my heart is after one of our shows, I had a fighter come up to me, shake my hand, and said, I just want you to know I quit my job 2 months ago to get ready for this fight. The money that you've given me, that you paid me for this fight, I can actually take off 2-3 more months and spend some time with my family, and I don't have to be in a rush. The gratitude and the feedback, I'm so happy that you gave me the opportunity, and we're not paying these people obviously top rank money. We're not paying them Golden Boy money, PBC money. Is that a satisfaction that you get? Have you been approached by these fighters after the fact and been told, you know what, as minuscule as an opportunity this may be in your eyes, it's such a big blessing for me to be able to be a part of this and to be given the opportunity to showcase my talent and like I said, to be able to spend the next 2-3 months not having to worry about work because their salary is so low in Mexico or whatnot, but that great feeling that you actually did something positive for somebody, you impacted their life in a way other than monetarily, but you gave them an opportunity. Have you had that feeling with a specific fighter? Do you have a memorable moment that a fighter came and approached you after the fact and really said, from the bottom of my heart, thank you? Because in reality, what I do, I think it's very small, but in the eyes of the person that you're blessing with an opportunity, it may be some of the biggest thing, one of the biggest moments in their life thus far. And like I said, to me, it's a special moment there. Have you experienced that?
That man, I'm glad you said that, and I don't mean to be like rain on like be a Debbie Downer here. And I'm gonna tell you guys this too. Like if you look for that, it's not gonna happen, man. So many people are on great. I mean, I have lots. So if anybody's watching this, don't think I'm pointing at you, okay? But I mean, I do this shit, and when I'm done, a good buddy of mine, Jeff Cisneros, told me, he goes, dude, fighters, and he goes, they don't give a shit. So when you gotta like do what you gotta do in this business, I get Don King now. I've done that before, looking for that.
Internet glitch.
Yeah.
Are we back?
Yeah, now you are.
Is that us, or is that like everybody that's happening?
No, it's just a little glitch on your end. It's okay.
Whoops. Sorry, all.
We got you about you feeling Don King and how he felt about.
Yeah, well, it's like everybody looks at like I mean, I want to be the good guy. Of course you want to do that stuff. A lot of promoters will look for that. And that's where I get my competition, because they'll look around and they're like, hey, we're for instance, I'm going to say the name. I don't care if they get mad, okay? There's the Hit Squad. So there's the Hit Squad. They're out there in Denver. These guys wanted to compete with me,
we're interviewing them next week. We're interviewing them next week.
So these guys wanted to compete, and I said that's fine. So the way that I do this with my fighters, everybody has to do their part. So if I have fighters that are on the show, either I got guys that want to buy in because there's no fight, so I don't need to put no fighters on. I get top ranked guys. I got guys that was going to fight. One of my guys fought Nikolai Ali, whatever, Ali's grandson. So they paid for spots on my show. I get top ranked paying huge money to be on the show. So I got these kind of connects. But I try to like do the right thing and go around and say, hey, I want to be friends with everybody in the community. Do you guys want to put some guys on my card? Man, these dudes are the first ones to go and try to screw you over. So, these guys demonized what I did, because I make fighters fight for tickets. And it's like, yeah, because if you don't, you're going to lose your ass. I've seen the richest people lose their butts here because they're paying people their hard-earned money. And giving guys wins, yeah, of course, that works for me, but not for you. And believe me, those guys who would be real thankful, they don't remember this. They're going to forget about you. I hardly even talk to these guys when I see them. Very few guys are going to be real thankful for it. And that's truth. That's just the facts, the way that it is. I mean, that's just people in general. I have a few that were like thankful for it. You know what I mean? But to me, I have fighters pretty much like you got to put in for it. I like to have fighters fight for tickets on my end. That's the only way that this works. I mean, I got people that are huge draws in the scene. I'm like, for example, I'm gonna tell a guy, do you want to fight for $1,000? And when they sell $5,000 worth of tickets, I mean, it's worth it for me to just give them X amount of tickets, and they get percentages on top of that. That's basically how it works. But for me, giving out life-changing, for me to give out life-changing money to somebody, I've never had that happen. I've had, for satisfaction for me was getting people up to the next level. I've raised people up to go on and make $50,000, $60,000, $75,000. I took people all over the world. I took people to Germany, to Bucharest, Romania, all over the world. And that's the biggest satisfaction when they do it. But they got to be along for the ride. They got to fight on the small shows to get to the big shows. And they actually have to win. So they have to be in the gym and do it. You know what I mean? You give a kid something, you enable them. You know what I mean? Hey, I got it. They don't know what it is until they appreciate the hard work they did for it. So to me, it's just the biggest satisfaction I got was taking kids out to Germany. My ex-wife, my kid's mother, I mean, I trained her. She never had an amateur boxing match in her life. She started pro at 28 years old. Took her on. She won 3 world titles. Real world titles. She fought in Germany. She fought all over the world. Terry Crews, you can look her up. She had 3 world titles. That was a big satisfaction for me. And I started her off nowhere, So for me, I get to do all the fun stuff. I get a trainer, manager, man, promoter. You know, I'm like an artist. I could go make a painting and then go put it on display in my own store. You know, so to me, that's satisfaction right there. You know, and then from fans too, you know what I mean? We throw badass shows, man. Our shows are the shit. Our shows are fun. You go there and they're highly competitive. You know, I mean, that's what I want to do is do good for the fans. So to me, finding that balance in everything, finding balance in having the fighters and not satisfying everybody. You know, everybody has to put in, you know, and to me, I'm my biggest critic. If I throw a sorry show, man, I apologize. When I'm done, I'm like, fuck, that sucked. You know, I mean, you know, I got a lot of people around me that are honest, and they'll tell me, you know, I wasn't that good, and I'm like, yeah, I know. Nobody could be harder on my own shows than me. I'm not satisfied with shit, you know. I'm like, if we don't have that place packed, like wall to wall, we threw a show a while back at a place that holds 1,200 people. We put 1,800 people in there. You know, we had this motherfucker packed, and it was a great show. Every fight was fire. Everyone left there, and that brings back the customers. You know, that's satisfaction to me. When I'm done, it's not even the money. The money's okay, you know, but you spend money. You know, it's longevity that lasts. You know, it's like I want to have people come back and then talk to me about it. You know, I got people that call me all the time now. You know, when's the next show? When's the next show? I took September off. I needed a break. So to me, I'm like, God damn, I need a break.
I needed
You know,
a break
I know
too.
because I've been running my team ragged. You know, I'm in the gym with these guys, and to me, I'm a motherfucker. I would call you at 3 o'clock in the morning. You know, all my people are watching. I call my whole crew, get up, let's go. You know what I mean? You know, we got shows, and then you know, on the road, got people going. So yeah, to me, to answer your question, the biggest satisfaction that I had is having a balance of everything, from the fans to everything. If you satisfy a boxer at one time, have I ever made life change? Yeah, I have, but it's after we've done it together, you know. And I mean, you know, I've had more disappointments and more losses than I've ever had wins in this sport. You know, I've had a ton of losses. You know, there's times when I got my ass kicked when I met, like, didn't know how I was going to pay rent for a couple of months. You know, but if you're a hustler and you're a real G in this game, you know how to come back. You know, you got to be a dog. You got to have that mindset like a fighter and not give up because the world's against you in here. And, you know, you get to see a lot of shady shit around you. You know, but you have to be one of the realest people too, though, you know, and I want to, you know, thank all the people that I have. I made a lot of good friends this year, you know, and I lost a bunch. You know, I have met a lot of people that were, you know, you meet these people that want to cut, you know, fight on your promotion and stuff, and they come around and they hang around, and I already know what it is. Like I said, it's these people that you know, they see what you're doing and they think it's that easy because all they see is the finished product. Nobody sees what it really is to do the whole show. You know, they don't know the dark times. These are the people that go to bed at 9 o'clock at night, get up and eat breakfast and have no stress and think that that stress goes away. No, dude, I'm the one who, you know, you got to be ready to do this. These guys can't compete with me, you know, and I mean, you have to always know that, you know, I mean, it sucks because when you get older, you know, you're paranoid of everybody. You don't know who's who or what's what. You know, you have very few friends in this game, you know, but you still have to deal with people, you know, and be ready for it. It just, you can't let the disappointments get you down, you know. I look for those. I don't even look for those, you know, those great moments of satisfying people anymore. You know, as long as you know in your heart you did your best for that person, that's satisfying to me. You know, you did your best, and you know, and to me, one of the main things too is don't get people fucked up in this game. Excuse my language, but like, you know, I have a lot of opponents in this game. You know, so guys like me are what make this world go around in boxing because everybody has that fighter. I got a guy, a real good kid of mine. I want to bring him up. Let's go to Steve, you know, because he has guys that'll fight him. You know, you better have some money and know something. You better have some bargaining leverage with me to use this because I do have a lot of guys that with not so great records, which are gold in this game. You know, everybody's looking and the opponent pool is not good, you know, and I got guys at all levels. I got the badasses up here. I got guys at the second tier level, third tier level, fourth tier level. You know, everything's just a phone call away. And once you've been in this game as long as me, you're within connects, man. Powerful person, you know, just a phone call. You can just make phone calls. And if you establish a good relationship with people, you know, pay people, don't burn people, you know, be honest, you know, return phone calls. That's what I'm trying to, if you guys are doing this game, and that would be my advice to you guys. You guys being young in this game and just starting, you know, have good relationships with people. If things go bad, face them. You know, if there's things that don't go your way, you know, still talk to people, work it out, and don't burn bridges and don't lose friends over this business. You know, this is a fucked up game, and you guys could lose like maybe lose a couple $1,000s over something. You know, don't be enemies with people. Still do the best you can to make amends with those people and try to keep a good rapport with them, because you never know. I mean, I learned from some old school Italian cats, you know, that were, you know, about promoting and a lot of things about life in general. You know, like, don't burn these bridges. You're going to cross again. And, you know, watch these people, you know, and then the youngsters, take care of the younger people, you know, even though if you know that they're going to be the ones that are going to try to do what you do and then fail, they're going to come back, you know, and then maybe you all can work together, you know, just do the best that you can to be understood with your good intentions, and you know you get along good in this game. Keep the good connects, and let's
So
focus. You know?
okay, so I heard you earlier. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I don't know about you other guys, but other than Mile High Mike, when it comes to Denver boxing or Colorado boxing or that region boxing, I never really hear too much of it. But then we go on here, the show starts, and you start mentioning this guy and that guy and this guy, and then they're champions. But yet that region or that area you're from is not really known for putting out boxers. Yet
Of
you just,
course.
you just named a few good ones. Why do you think that's the case? Why do you think that area is not known for the boxing like other
Well,
areas, Texas or California or whatever?
well, like I said, okay, so like around here, you know, you got Bud Crawford, okay, who's within our regions. You got Terrence Crawford, you know, but you have a lot of guys that are underneath him. You know, you have to be a boxing avid to know the little guys and to know all these guys, you know, that we're talking about. You know, I mean, Mile High Mike Alvarado was on HBO. Good buddy of mine too, good friend. I know his dad. I used to box with his dad. You know, his dad was a good friend of mine. But Mike made his way, you know, I mean, to Mike, there's such big levels to this game, and Mike was at the highest level you could get to. You know, I had you know, I could do some name dropping, you know, but it's irrelevant. You know, like I could say, like Ron Lyle, Stevie Johnston. You know, you guys remember those kind of names, you know. But
Absolutely.
man, it's hard, you know. And I mean, it's like in California, that you know, you guys have so many fighters in California, so many fighters. You know, I mean, you know, it's going to be harder for you guys to make something out there because the level of competition, man. Everybody in California is a badass, man. And I mean, because there's so many gyms out there. I have a fighter of mine named Vladimir Hernandez, who I used to manage, who's ranked like top 10 in the world now. So I brought him from Denver. You know, I got him up to, you know, whooping everybody at top rank. And you guys probably still haven't even heard of him, but he beat
Oh no,
guys
yeah.
like,
Well,
yeah,
what's the name again?
Vladimir. He's out
What's
there
the
in
name?
Southern
Vladimir
Cal, you
what?
know.
Vladimir what?
Hernandez.
Hernandez.
Yeah, see, I mean, you got to
I'm gonna
Google
look
those guys, you
Well,
know,
he,
just
he
because, you
just
know, yeah,
yeah.
so look, if you're like you know, you're talking about sitting at home and turning on HBO and then remembering Mike Alvarado. You know, the guys I'm talking about were like ESPN champions. You know, done a lot of things, and you know, I mean, they're the opponent level kind of guys, but still, these are the Denver All Stars. This is what makes Denver go around. You know, I mean, do we have any of those fighters coming up now? Not really. You got a lot of guys who want to be at that level, but those are the guys right here who are buying fights and getting, I mean, the weakest 15, 16 and 0 fights on there. You read their box rec now and it's bullshit. You know what I mean? It's against guys 2-12, you know, the fakest records you can ever get. You know, I mean, those guys can't do it like Mike. Mike went out there and really did it. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
it's hard to find
Is,
guys like that. So I
is it
agree
is
with
it
you.
is it because there's no talent coming through Denver, or is it because the talent that's coming out of Denver is leaving to places like Los Angeles and Florida, Texas, or whatever? Is that why, or is there just no kids?
That's a good question. You know what I mean? I just think that, you know, that's just everywhere. You know what I mean? If you think about it, look, how many guys, you know, there's a few guys that are in California, you know, but still you have to be in California to know these guys. Guys around this area know who I'm talking about, you know, but I mean, have they made it out to that level yet? No, I just think that I don't know, man. I just think that there's not too many of those fighters that headed up to that level, you know. I mean, in Denver, like, before Mike Alvarado, it was Stevie Johnston, you know, and I mean, beside that too, it's just a lot of other guys who are famous gatekeepers, which like Rob Franco was. He was a good gatekeeper. You know, if you couldn't get past Rob Franco, you ain't gonna make it to a world title. He stopped a lot of people that with great
There's
records, you
nothing
know.
wrong with being a gatekeeper, bro. Nothing wrong with being a
No,
gatekeeper.
no, not at all. Not at all. It's not what I'm saying, but I'm just telling you like it is, though, man. It's like, you know, I
Right.
mean, you know, it's hard to get to that level of a Mike Alvarado, you know, but Mike was special. Mike was special. Not too many people come from there, but that's like with Nebraska too. You know, if you go to Nebraska,
It's like we got a little bit of a glimpse. We're going to get right to you here, Chelly. We're going to see if he'll pop right back up. We got about 10 minutes left for the show, so we're going to get it right through. But, let me answer a question for you, Caesar. Let me tell you why a lot of people don't know about Colorado that much.
Okay, there we go.
All right. Sorry, y'all.
No, so
No
like,
worries.
So like, look, if you guys look at Nebraska, okay, like there's Terrence Crawford, okay, but if you could say who else just came from there, there's a lot of other fighters in Nebraska, but it's hard to find out the ones that are. You have to really be in the boxing game to know who these fighters are, So you have to like have your hand on the pulse of the business to know all these guys.
Well, Dave was about to let us know what his feeling is of why it doesn't happen.
What do you think?
Well, real quick, I'm going to tell you, man, social media is now out. It's alive and it's coming up. And it's, so before I always felt like, our Southwest and Colorado peeps were always back in a cave, man, because we couldn't get out of that bowl for some reason because nobody ever paid attention to everybody. When I was growing up, you're right. I got to fight for Ron Lyle. I mean, I got to meet the man at the 20th Street Gym. I got to meet like Felipe Garcia, who was the kickboxing champion of the world. I got beat up for one round by Lightning Lonnie Smith over in Glowville because he needed partners and I was way too heavy, but he beat me up anyway. Shit like that. So but the thing about it is Mike Alvarado, like you say, he was a special type of guy, man, and that's why he was able to premiere on HBO and stuff like that against all those welterweights. But is now that we've got social media, and that's what I love about social media, and that's why we're here today, because my dream was to always to bring the Southwest and those territories to the West Coast, and let's get it on, baby. So I've been back in the game for about a year and a half now. And things are starting to, they've been happening. I've been making moves. I've been doing a lot. I'm working with Caesar and Big Surge, Chele. I mean, and we're doing some beautiful things, but I'm just beginning. So as we get together, I get to join you next week, brother. I get to join you next week for the fights, and I get to work the corner, or work with you, and and
it'd be awesome, man.
We're going to have a good time doing it. But now is the time for that bridge to happen. And we're going to be bringing the Colorado fighters over to California, and we're going to introduce them to California fighters. And then once we introduce them to California fighters, we're going to be able to blow them up and get our Colorado and New Mexico, Wyoming peeps, all of the Southwest territories up where they belong. Yeah. Because you know what? They're even more dogs than they're out here in California. We may have a few dogs out there, but there's still more dogs in Colorado than there are out here. Everybody works hard out here. I got to tell my peeps out here that I love them too. But what I'm saying is when you come from Colorado in the Southwest, it's almost like the nature of the dog is in them. And I mean, look at Ernie.
Do they feel they got to prove themselves? Is that what it is, or what is it?
It's just the streets, bro. It's just the streets. We all came from the same background, bro. When we wake up in the morning, you're going to get your ass kicked. Bottom line. When I grew up, you're going to get your ass kicked. Bottom line. So what do? I found myself going into 20th Street Gym. All of a sudden, I found myself, I have hands. I don't only need to get hit. I could learn how to hit back. Or I could take your hit and let me hit you harder. They make the dog out of you. There's a lot of dogs that come out of Denver, man, male and female. And that's why we get along so well with the certain group. We have our boxer, Jimmy Nunez. He's from the Soboba Res. He fits right in. He went down and worked out at the House East over there with Coach Rob Frankel. And I mean, they were like brothers. So the connection and where I come from and where my people come from, when you wake up in the morning, back in the day, you knew you were going to get your ass kicked. So you either had to learn how to kick ass and come on top. And we fought daily. I mean, that was just the way it is, daily, weekly, whatever. We get beat up all the time. Like you said, we have more losses than we do wins, but we're always a dog. And that's how my Colorado peeps are. That's how my Southwest peeps are. You get them in the ring and they're fucking dogs. They may not be the greatest talent in the world, but I'll tell you what, they're going to be there until the end. And so, that's why I say that Southwest connection to the West Coast connection My man Steve.
That's what I want to. That's what I want to do in this boxing game is find those people that have that. So look, when I have it, and if somebody really does have that talent, they'll beat these fighters. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'm going to provide the opportunity. Somebody has to provide the effort and step up and win these fights. And if they're winning these fights and they can beat the next level and go out there, then they can be the next Mike Alvarados. You know what I mean? And in California, if we find somebody like that too, they're going to get discovered. Like this kid that I had, Vladimir, he was 10-2. He's from Mexico, but he came out here. He fought a kid from California named Danny Valdivia, who was 14-0. Now he whoops Danny's ass, and then so it was a top ranked fighter. So top rank gets pissed off.
I saw that fight.
Yeah. So then
I saw that fight.
Yeah. So then they bring him back, and he beats a couple of other guys. So he beats the gatekeepers. You know what I mean? So
Valdivia was never the same after that fight.
I know. He beat Valdivia twice. So he beat him once in Phoenix. So they wanted him for so they called me. They called me down. They called me. They were like, hey, you got a guy. I said, yeah. So look, I don't talk Spanish. And Vladimir don't talk English. All I did is just give him water. He went out there and beat the shit out of Valdivia. You know what I mean? That was it. I know a little bit of boxing. You know what I mean? Cuerpo, muerte, cabeza. You know, that was all I knew. I was his promoter. I just got the guy ready. This guy had mad chingazos with him. He's it's the hungrier fighter that's going to win that. It's not even it's the way that he was brought up, you know? So then he gets that fight. Then he fights for triple the money, you know? So they get us on the Top Rank show. So he goes out there and whips his ass in California. And I think that's probably the one that
Damn.
I think it might be a play as you go.
Anyways, so Chelly, tell us about your next event.
Hey guys. Okay,
Chelly.
so now that I'm at 3%, so it's gonna die soon. But my next event.
Steve, if we can hold up for 1 sec, we got Chelly talking real quick, Steve.
Yeah, sorry, Steve.
Oh no. Yep. Steve, keep talking. I'm learning. I love the knowledge that I'm getting. Go ahead.
Okay, so anyhow, what I was talking about that kid Vladimir, so he goes out there and then, you know, he beats Danny Valdivia in a comeback fight, you know, and then, I mean, you know, and then he starts fighting all these big dogs, you know. He moved on. He lives in California now. So he lives in LA and he's training with a bunch of good fighters, and he went on to beat J-Rock and goes and fights on all these PBC cards now. He's actually signed with them. You know, I sold my contract to him. So, I mean, you know, so the guy moved on and he's off to bigger and better things, and that's what I want, you know. That's what I want with these fighters, to take them there to that level. You know, they start off here on the small level, and if they're good enough, they can move up to the big level. You know, so, I mean, I hope they could do it. I hope that we could find somebody from one of our gyms, you know, to get out there and move up and do it. The guys you guys are moving out there in Mexico, I hope that they're not fighting too easy fights. You know what I mean? If they were, you know, I mean, it's good to put them in some decent fights, and then we'll see what we can get to.
You know, Steve, luckily, I don't know if it's happening in the States, but in Mexico, BoxRec is in cahoots with the commissions, and they're making sure that we match kids evenly. Like you can't, you can't put in a 5-0 kid against an 0-10 kid anymore, unless that 0-10 kid fought 5 or 6 split decisions in a row and lost.
It's a good thing.
But if he got knocked out, if he got knocked out 5 times in a row, they're gonna be like, "What are you doing? You can't fight this kid anymore." So it is a good thing, and they do gotta fight. They gotta fight now.
Yeah, they should. They should. You know, and that's what I want to see. That's where they should be, because, you know, it's a bad thing. There was a guy that I trained, and I hate to drop names, but this is true. So this isn't me dropping no bullshit. There was a guy that I had named Manuel Lopez. Okay, so him and his wife, they built up themselves up to a 17-0 record off of complete bullshit. You know what I mean? Back before there was even any commissions. You know, so I get this guy, take him over. I get him a fight out there in Germany. He fights out there in Germany and fights a kid that's like 32-0. His name was Marcus Baer, and the guy was a legit middleweight. And my guy went out there, you know, when he thought about it, he went out there and I looked at him, and the look on his face was priceless. I was like, let's go, man. You're going to, you know, you got these small gloves on. And he was like just tripping in the back of his mind. And I said, and I know what was going through his head. He had no experience. So, you know, to get these guys this level of experience helps them, because you're going to get there. And the moment of truth is going to happen, you're going to be fighting a real motherfucker someday. And you don't want to be in there and be like, yeah, to all the people who enable you and tell you, yeah, you're a great fighter. Go on. I bought you all these fake ass wins. You know what I mean? It means nothing once you go up there and you fight a real dog. So my
I
boy
think
went out there and fought, and the look on his face was just priceless. Like we were in Germany, in fucking Germany,
MMA,
the whole new country.
yeah, absolutely. And I think MMA has helped in that sense because MMA has proven that people want to see good fights. They don't care if you're undefeated. They care that you come in and you fight. Kind of like always, the perfect example in boxing, I think, is Gabe Rosado. I mean, look at the guy has over 10 losses,
Oh
right?
yeah,
But he gets
Mr.
top notch,
Accountability right there.
it's top notch money and top notch fights. Why? Because no matter what happens, Gabe Rosado shows up and
You
he
know
fights.
that name. That's a
He
household
brings it,
name.
and he
He's
brings it.
Arturo Gotti. He's like the Arturo Gotti
God,
of
they
now.
bring it. They're just natural fighters,
Oh
and I
yeah.
think people appreciate that more than kids that do whatever it takes to be undefeated.
Yeah,
Because and
I
at
don't want
whatever
to be.
stage,
I don't want to be that promoter. I don't want to ever be that promoter who does that. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm real honest with these kids, and I tell these kids when they come to me and they're like, "I won't fight this guy." You know, I got guys that with undefeated records that won't fight guys that are like 3-6. You know, I got a guy named Baltazar Ramirez who's 3-6, and he'll probably beat all these kids' ass here in town. 3-6, but he lost split decisions to gold medalists in the guys who took gold in the Olympics. I got Adon Gonzalez, who I managed, who went out there and beat Robecy Ramirez, who was a 3-time or 2-time gold medalist. You know what I mean? And my kid from Denver came out here and beat that dude just off of pure toughness.
that was his pro debut, right? Robesi's pro debut.
Yo, upset of the year. So we bring out these kids from Denver who learn how to fight on my show. And I mean, from a real good trainer, Donald Camarena, a good buddy of mine, you know, who trained these kids, you know, we bring them out there and, you know, they're going to, you know, I mean, there's fluff in their substance. And the guys that come from my camp, from airtight boxing, all have substance because they all learn. They all fight. I feel even the kids that I have with losing records, you know what I mean? I still think these kids could go out there and upset some people. There was a guy who was a big time sparring partner. I forgot his name, but he fights. He was like 7-0. He fights a kid of mine named Raheem Abdullah, who was 3-5. My kid came out there and fucked him up. You know what I mean? And it was no competition. There's, you know, records don't mean anything. When you get down to it, it's who could fight. You know. And you know, I like the way that the game is. And what MMA did for boxing, it kicked boxing in its ass. So the days of let's put on a bunch of bullshit fights, you know, to appease the fighter itself, nah, because you're shitting on the customer. You know, just imagine that, the hardworking person in this day and age. If I went out there and I don't make a lot of money, if I pay $100-$200 for me and my girlfriend to go watch fights, and if we see some bullshit fights of people just building up their records, I'm gonna be pissed, and I'm not gonna go to the promotion anymore. So everybody loses. Just the person that got the easy win wins. But when he fights in a real fight, he really lost because he's not learning anything. These are all proven grounds. You know, I mean, boxing is no fucking joke, man. You know, you got to be prepared and fight real fights. If you're somebody, you got like an old trainer, one of the better trainers from Denver. His name is Bobby Lewis. He used to coach the Denver Rocks. I seen the guy tell his fighters, you know, you ain't ready for this. You're not. This isn't for you. You know, and I was like, wow, you know, I mean, you got to learn to be that guy in boxing as a promoter and as a trainer. If it isn't for a guy, I can still like you and be your friend, but I would tell you, this ain't for you, man. You're not ready for this shit. Don't do this. You're gonna get hurt. You know, they got this thing now called social media, and you don't want to be getting 2 million fucking views of yourself. You know, one time I felt bad. I took an opponent for a buddy of mine, so he has a girl, and her name was Chantal Cordova, and they needed.
Pay as you go. But we're gonna have to, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do some more shout outs here in a second. And as a matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and do it right now. Robert Atencio, thanks for joining us, brother. Appreciate it. Shout out to him. Christopher Von Seal, he says if boxing anyone, I plan on going up to 165.75. Good luck to you over there. Justin Basha, welcome, brother. Oh, the boxing Rocas, man. He's got some words for you, Caesar. I'll have to share that with you later. He's talking about Mexico and built up fights. Esteban Baca, welcome. Mike Anchando, Mighty Mike, man, that's the champ right there. What's up, brother? Welcome. Carlos Beltran, welcome. We got Vincent Rodriguez. That's my gente right there. It's my cousin. Welcome, cuz. Tony Lopez is watching. Let's see who else we got here. Degerio Ravello. watching. So want to tell everybody thank you guys for joining. Anthony Cruz. We got Quatli Longoria Trujillo is actually my son. That's David Trujillo. Welcome, son. Thanks for watching. Tammy Gonzalez, Alvin Tafoya. What's up, Alvin Tafoya? Thanks for the show. Anyway, we're here. We're happy you're joining us, and we're going to continue on with Steve. We're going to finish up here. We got about 5 more minutes, Steve. So go ahead and let's finish telling us your story about the dogs that you were talking about.
Oh, I was just saying I had a girl that came out there and fought. So I'm just saying, like, don't just be an opponent either, because now, like, there's social media, and you could be getting 5 million views if you go in there unprepared, you know. So I had a girl wanted to make a few bucks. She went out there and fought, and it was on an ESPN show. And man, did they let us have it? They you know, and nobody wants to take accountability. They wanted an opponent so bad. I pulled in the girl, taught her how to box in the locker room. You know, so she comes out. If you want to look her up, her name's Chantal. She fought a girl named Chantal Cordova. It's on Chantal Cordova's things. They got over 1 million views. That's when I learned what viral meant. Because I didn't think that they were going to be doing it. So Teddy Atlas is, who the hell would do this? You know what I mean? You know, I mean, I did it. I did it because to save the show. You know, this girl wanted it, and I didn't think they were going to even air it. I told them, don't air this. This girl does not know how to fight.
Dave, that's when you're in the camera like this, right?
Oh, dude, I was this. I put my hat way over my head.
Well,
I was like, and the girl actually went out there, and Chantal, you know, God bless her heart, you know what I mean? She knew what it was. She went out there and she didn't stretch the girl, you know. I mean, I had my friend in her corner, and I said, you come out here and start dropping bombs on my girl, I'm gonna have my friend throwing the fucking towel on you. I said, you know what? You know what it is. Get your win and get out. I did not know that ESPN was going to be running at a time and going to be there with the cameras. And it was, man, I was like, fuck. So, I mean, I've seen all ends of this business, you know.
Jesus.
We need opponents sometimes, man, but that poor girl, you know, went in there and did it. She had 1 million views, and she'll be forever infamous, you know, like, the girl that just went out there.
Remember TJ Sergio when we were there with Moreno, and the Moreno, this kid Moreno didn't make the weight by like 5 or 6 pounds or whatever. So then the opponent's coach, we convinced them to take the fight. This is TJ. We convinced him to take the fight, and then he comes up to us. I don't know if you remember Sergio, and I don't even know if I should be saying this, but I'm gonna say it. The coach comes up to us and he says, "Just please don't knock him out too brutally. Like, make sure that it's like a body shot or something. You know what I mean?" And we're like, "Oh, I guess okay, sure. You know, I'll tell them to work with them." And Moreno went over there, like in the 3rd round or something like that. Knocked them out cold. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm the co-promoter. This is not
what
good.
do you do, though? You know what I mean? There's times you have to do that stuff. I get it.
Shit, I think they're all frozen.
Well, check this out, everybody. Here's what we're going to do. We're already over an hour. I think it's such a great thing. I want to see if we can get Steve back here next week and continue a number 2 with Steve. That would mean the world to me. I think to bring him back on board one more time. Would you come back next week, Steve, and we could do a number 2?
Oh, absolutely, bro. Hey, if you guys need me every week, I'm here, man. Hey, listen, we're family, bro. You guys need anything? Give the guys my number.
You gotta come to my Wi-Fi next time.
I will. Hey, Sergio, and you know what? I want to talk to you guys too. If you guys ever need help on the promoting end, feel free to call me. Get my number from Dave. I mean, if I can help you guys out, if you guys have some opponents, let's kick around some ideas, man. Teamwork makes the dream work, fellas. Let's go.
That's right.
You know, and I mean, I'm willing to help out anybody, man. Especially, you know, we're all with the House of Pain, and you know, you guys are family, so I got your back.
Appreciate that.
Thank you, brother. We got your back too, man. And like I said, I got your back next Saturday. Got that going on.
Yeah, I'm coming out there. I'm going to going to fucking Arizona the 1st. After the 1st, then I'm going to Vegas. And then after Vegas, I might be going to fucking Cincinnati. And then Cincinnati, I'm going to California. So I'm ready for the tour, man. But, hey, this is what I do. I got fighters all over the country, man. I'm ready to do this. But I will be in California. I'm excited to see. Okay, real quick question. Who do you guys got, Reese or the other guy? Andy Ruiz or what's the old man's name he's fighting?
Luis Ortiz.
Yeah, Ortiz. Who's going to win?
for me, here's the way I see it. You know, if Andy can go in there, Andy Ruiz can go in there, and Luis Ortiz is just as quick. Obviously, to me, it's going to come down to the age. Is Luis Ortiz really going to be able to keep up with Andy Ruiz, or is Andy Ruiz going to slow the road down and Luis Ortiz is just going to come out, fucking haymaker and catch a clean shot somewhere?
He got power, and we all know, being in boxing, the last thing a man loses is his power.
Absolutely.
And you seen Reese get dropped last time by Areola, so it's questionable.
I wasn't too impressed with him, coming out against Areola that time. I figured, okay, it's going to be a gimme. They're trying to feed him Areola. Areola's been out, they're
Areola's not a big
back on
puncher,
the
from what I heard. I've had guys.
That was my idea. They're just trying to put him back on the stage to keep him in contention. But he didn't look impressive to me. I really thought that he was going to come out and totally dominate. And like you said, it didn't quite happen that way. So I'm still kind of, I'm not sure, where he's at.
Who you picking, Serge?
I think it's going to come down to age, to be honest with you.
We're going to put you on
age
spot,
wins
bro.
or age loses?
Young or old, pick
Which
one.
is it?
Yeah, no, I think Ruiz is going to come out, but again, I don't know if he's going to come out looking stellar.
Well, no. If Andy Ruiz is taking a serious training and being serious, I call it a 55-45 fight for him. He's got to train hard, and it's still going to be close.
Good stuff. Yeah.
But if Andy parties, kicks it, and takes it serious, then he's going to get his ass kicked. That's what I think. But I think that said, I think he wins a tight, close fight. Andy wins
I agree. I'm with you on that. I agree with you. It's going to be fight. It's going to be a fight. Not going to be easy.
Well, I tell you what, Omar and I have had the pleasure of being down there in the Ruiz camp. And, the question about it is, and you guys are right, is he taking this serious or not? Well, since we've seen him eating all his Alberto's burritos and all that, because he was kind of chilling at the time when we went down to his gym, ever since that guy dropped about 50 pounds, man, and I seen him. Yeah, he did cut his weight, dude, and what we're seeing on this end here is this man is serious. So if he is serious, I believe that he's going to take the old man. Yeah, but if he's coming,
I would love to see that. I would love to see that. And you know what? Because there is no – I have a heavyweight here. I got a Mexican heavyweight here. Well, he's not my guy, but I do put him on my card. His name's Martin. And he is a 6'6", 280-pound Mexican heavyweight who's been wiping out everybody. He just beat some undefeated fighters. So, I mean, we're hoping to bring him up to some kind of level like that. I'm not his promoter, but I'm going to be the one promoting. Me and his promoters work together, so I know I'm going to get him his big shot. And I think the guy could win.
Right on. So that being said, gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and close the show off on this right here. We want to give a huge thanks to Mr. Steve Mestas, man, for Airtight Boxing, founder of House of Pain. Sitting next to him, Brittany Serrano, who is she's our she's our girl out there in Colorado. She's going to be bringing it to us. Steve, I just, said thank you to you, sir. And we're going to make a number 2 next week. We got Cesar Garcia, co-promoter Grito de Guerra. We got Big Surge, co-promoter Grito de Guerra. We got Chelly Rivas. Unfortunately, her phone ran out. Look at that big old guns on that dude, man. They're bigger than him. That California Bear. But anyway, so we did for our first show, we had an amazing show. And it was because of you two right there. And all 4 of us working hard on this end. We're going to bring better shows. And Steve, you're going to be involved in this. Like I said, when I told you when I got back into the boxing world that I was going to come and I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And all I do is
I'm proud of you, man. It's impressive. I love seeing the fire, man. Hey, the energy never dies. The energy never dies, bro. I love it. The energy is sick. I put it on, man. You fire me up, bro. I love seeing that, bro. I mean, I get on there, dude, and I'm like, let's keep it going, man.
Yep.
Hey, Steve,
I just want to make you proud.
Are you a Cardinals fan? Is that why you got the hat? You a Cardinals fan?
Nah, it's just the hat, bro.
Oh, man. I'm a baseball fan. I see that. It's like, oh, damn. I'm a big Yadier Molina fan. That's what I was asking.
Nice.
Anyway, gentlemen, we're going to go close the show. Go ahead, Steve.
Next week, right?
Yes, sir. We'll do it Sunday
Same
night.
time?
Same time, yes.
Yeah, we'll be in touch throughout the week.
Yes,
All
absolutely.
right, guys.
All right, everybody at All Angles, man. This is Dave Trujillo saying what's up and goodbye. Enjoy your boxing world and keep on grinding because we never stop. All right, 24/7, boxing every day of the week. God bless everybody.
Go.
Salute. Good night.
Salud.
Watch Ball and Babes with Britt tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Tell them.
Josh
Get it
D.
in.
Dyer, he's going to fight Joe Riggs for the BKFC
Oh.
in Montana next month, early September. So, yeah, tune in. I'm going to talk to him. He's my first male guest on Brawling Babes with Britt. He's the Ken doll, so I figure why not have a pretty boy on?
There you go.
There you go, girl. Well, you just announced it to everybody. So anytime you have an announcement, Brittany, please feel free. That's what we're here for. And whoever you want to bring on, let us know, and we'll bring them on the show as well. All right, my fam. Peace out. Broadcast.